Guys, we're about to dive into everything you need to know to start playing the support role more effectively within Hell Let Loose. So hit that subscribe button and drop a like as we're about to start right now. The support class is one of the most valued roles in the game, as you provide your assistance to your squad as well as the entire team. This role provides an essential part to defending control points and building fortifications. Each support player within the lobby has access to a supply crate. Having these placed down are very important, as it will allow other classes to build anything. For example, squad leaders and commanders having access to building garrisons, which are spawn points that the entire team can utilize. Anti-tanks can also assemble a static anti-tank gun, and engineers can also build fortifications depending on the cost of supplies like barbed wire, Belgian gates, and most importantly, resource nodes. For context, resource nodes allow the commander to utilize his abilities, such as bombing runs, supply drops, and spawning in tanks. I will cover more about supplies a little later, but first of all, let's talk about the loadouts the support class has access to. The support has access to two loadouts, the standard issue, which you gain access to already, and another loadout called the ammo carrier, which you gain access to at level 3. For the Americans, you gain access to the M1 Grand, and for the Germans, it's the Kar 98K. This loadout also contains 2 frag grenades and 2 bandages to help heal yourself, as well as other teammates. The supply crate has a total of 50 units, and once placed, anyone who's within a 15-meter radius can build anything they need, such as a garrison or fortifications. This also has a cooldown of 5 minutes, but this timer does not reset whenever you die. If a manpower node is built nearby by an engineer, then as a support, walk over to it to gain a reduced cooldown of 2.5 minutes. Like the assault class and engineer, the support gains access to a hammer, which allows you to help build fortifications on a defensive control point, but keep in mind that this is not a melee weapon. The ammo carrier has a different primary weapon of an SMG, the grease gun for the Americans, and the MP40 for the Germans. You still gain access to the hammer and the supply box, but instead, this loadout gains access to 2 new types of ammo boxes which you can supply to yourself and teammates: small ammunition and explosive rounds. Now, small ammunition is for your primary and secondary weapons, and the explosive ammo gives you back your frag grenades, smoke grenades, satchel charges, and rockets for either the Panzerschreck or Bazooka for the corresponding factions. Like the supply crate, these ammo boxes have a reduced cooldown from 5 minutes to 2.5, so keep in mind for those manpower nodes. Now let's go back and talk about supplies in more detail. As I stated earlier in the video, the supply box has access to 50 units, but there's other ways to get supplies onto the battlefield, and one way is from a supply truck, which is spawned in from the commander. Once spawned, the supply truck can be driven around anywhere, and has access to 2 pieces of supplies, which are 150 units each, resulting in a 300 unit total. What I tend to do is drive these down to a defensive control point for my engineers to build fortifications, but do keep an eye out for enemy infantry and especially armor who can destroy you. Supply drops are also ordered by the commander, which contain a total of 100 supplies, but do keep in mind when these parachute down, these are visible to enemies as well as friendlies. Now let's give you some tips to help you on the battlefield. Tip 1. Eye in the sky. As a support, you have the ability to see enemies pinpointed via the recon plane, so if you have the chance, let your squad lead know where enemies are pushing on a control point. Tip 2. Put your supplies in the right place. One of the best ways to be effective as a support is to coordinate where to place supplies. For example, if you see a supply drop or even a supply truck go into a control point, then follow it and drop your own supplies, as this may help engineers to build expensive fortifications like bunkers. Tip 3. Role swap. As a support, you can drop a single set of 50 supplies down. However, you can get another supply box from a buddy who switches to this role. It's a lot quicker than asking for a supply drop from the commander or even waiting for a supply truck, so keep this tip in mind. Tip 4. Try to convince engineers to build manpower nodes first, as this will allow you as well as other supports to gain their supplies back a lot quicker, from 5 minutes to 2.5 minutes. And that's all I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and thought it was helpful. If you want to see more videos like this, then drop a like and subscribe, as it will help my videos get out there to a wider audience. If you want to become a better anti-tank player, then watch this video on the left, and armor on the right. I will see you all in the next video. This is Behemoth, signing off.